This is not a test or seeing if it's going to be fun. Like, this is a proven fun event that only gets even better each year. All right, so I've been waiting 6 years for this moment. Ever since I started, I was always like, what is the go-to conference to be in? And everyone always said it was the Vegas conference, the Vegas PMU conference. And so right now, I'm proud to introduce Melissa. She is the host of the Vegas PMU conference. So welcome, Melissa, to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here too.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, a few months ago when you reached out to me, you're like, Jake, do you want to be a speaker at this year's 2023 Vegas conference? And I was like, yeah, heck yes. Because, like, I know that you had previously had another marketer speak there, and I was just like, and you always have exclusivity, and so that's why you couldn't have me there. And so when you had the opportunity to ask me, I was like, yes, I'm on board. I've always wanted to come there. It's located at the Cosmopolitan, and so tell us a little bit about the Vegas conference for those who don't know.
Yeah, so we were super excited to invite you as well. You had a lot of good references, heard a lot of good things about you and what you're doing for the industry. So we kind of got started in this in 2017. Our oldest daughter was 18 at the time, just started microblading, brand new to the industry, and her mentor actually invited her to a conference in Hong Kong and wanted her to go. And we all thought, kind of debated and thought, but she was so young, just starting. We weren't going. We didn't feel super comfortable. So she didn't wind up going, but we heard lots of good things about it. And being that we live in Vegas, I've been in Vegas since '89. My husband's been there since the '70s. All of his uncles worked in the hotels as banquet waiters back when Elvis Presley and Sonny and Cher, Vegas was completely different than it is now. But my husband was in a banquet waiter for a long time too. So he was like, you know what, we could host these conferences here. Like, why don't we do it here? And then girls like our daughter who live in the US would have a much easier chance of going and getting there. And plus, we live in Vegas. So he's like, everybody would want to come to Vegas. And we get to kind of throw in the Vegas entertainment and all the perks and everything from living there. So yeah, we started in 2017. The first one we had was at the MGM. Second one we had at like a private venue where you kind of set everything up yourself. And then we had it at another private venue, and then 2020 happened, and unfortunately 3 weeks before we were supposed to go. So that was kind of a bummer, but we switched to online. So that worked out pretty good. Everyone was excited, kind of down from being home and stuck at home. So that worked out. And then after that, the Cosmo. And we chose the Cosmo because it is one of the most luxury hotels in every way. The food, the venue, the setup, and it's very convenient because our attendees do get a group rate. You just come right down the elevator. Everything's right there. Mm-hmm. So super luxurious, super fun hotel. And a lot of people reached out and said they've always wanted to go to that hotel. So they're super excited to find out that it's there.
Yeah. And so, everybody likes, or not, I wouldn't say everybody, but people like, sometimes that I'm a very straight shooter. I'm a no fluff kind of guy. And so, my no fluff opinion about conferences is I've been to a lot of different ones. And, to me, from what I've heard, yours is, the kind that I like, and I'll explain why, because, sometimes conferences tend to go like, dirt cheap tickets, they get people in the door, but then a lot of their stuff is just hype or fluff. And then, there's no food or anything included. It's just bare bones minimum. And they're just, it's basically like when you do a timeshare at a hotel, like they get you in at a cheap rate and then they try to sell you something the whole time. That's how some conferences run. From what I hear, yours is not like that. Yours is luxurious, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, no. So our ticket prices are priced very reasonably still for everything that you're getting. Mm-hmm. But no, everything's included. And a lot of people ask me that, do I have to pay separate for that? Do I have to pay separate for this? And no, everything's included. We have 4 ticket options. So we have online, which they get to stream through an app, which is super cool because even though they're online, they still get to participate with everybody. And the reason I say that is because all the attendees, live and online, all the trainers, all the vendors, all get access to the app, and we let everyone have it about 2 weeks before the conference starts. So they actually get to set up virtual meetups and share pictures and communicate and set up community threads with everybody on the app, the live attendees too. If they stream live, our audio set up so it's streamed in live at the moment, and then they can even ask questions. So under each session, we have a question and answer box. So they can ask questions, and then the trainers will answer some live, but of course we can't answer everybody's question during that time period. So the questions that don't get answered, they can continue to ask under each session. So that's the online option. They also get all the certificates. A lot of times online doesn't get anything. They just get to watch, but our attendees get to network. They get to participate in giveaways. We also do giveaways live and online. And the vendors, because they have virtual booths, they also do giveaways to online attendees through their virtual booths. And then we have,
Real
yeah.
Before you go to the in-person stuff, like online's awesome, and it's cool that you have are you because you give all the attendant like all the ticket holders have online access too, right? Like to the
Yeah.
app. So
Yep.
yeah, so that's nice and convenient, and they get access to the replay, right?
Yeah. So that's where we host the replays. So what
Yeah.
happens is everyone gets access about 2 weeks before. And then the cool thing is that people will actually set up like ride sharing, room sharing, sitting together. So a lot of the girls go alone, but because they've already met through the app, they get there and it's like they already know each other and they're sitting together and they're together so they don't feel alone, and people recognize each other when they get there. So it creates this very like family, like friend environment. As soon as you arrive, you don't have the same nerves as, oh, I don't know anybody and what's going to happen. And we send out all kinds of announcements before they get there. Like my husband loves to make the videos, so he sends out videos on, what's the weather going to be? Where's the best place to park? What show should you see if you decide you want to see a show? And so we really, really educate everybody before they get there through the app. It's a really cool feature, and then they have access to it for like 120 days after.
Nice.
So online people who don't attend at the program times, they can watch whenever, because we have people attending from all over the world. So if they don't want to get up at 2 in the morning to watch, they can watch it whenever they want. They just watch the replay. But it's super fun. It's a really cool feature, and we actually came across it during COVID. That's when we did the online conference, and everybody said, please keep the online feature, like please keep doing that, because a lot of the girls are super thankful to be able to attend, and they can't really make it in person due to budget, family, whatever the case may be, but they could still feel like they were part of it online. So we have that feature.
So the features in online is cool, but I will caveat to say if you can make it in person, come see
Yeah.
me in person. Like
Yeah.
the energy you get from being in person, and it's the reason Tony Robbins does like these live events on YouTube, but it's not the same as being there in person. You got to feel the energy, you got to meet people, you got to network, you got to dance, you got to party, you know.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you like online's cool, but if you can make it in person, come in person.
Yeah, and the funny thing you say, the fact that you bring that up is kind of funny, because as the years go by, I feel like we have less and less online and more live,
Yeah.
because they see, like, we'll see online people all the time chatting, and they're like, oh, I'm going live next year. There's no way I'm doing this online next year. And a lot of them will come live the next year because they see all the fun. I mean, we try to make it, like I said, as fun as we can, but it's not the same. It's for sure not. And then we also, so we have 3 ticket tiers, because we know that everyone has a different budget and everybody wants a different experience. So our starting ticket, everyone sees it, all the sun presentations, everyone gets all the certificates, no matter what price you pay. The difference in ticket tiers is basically the experience. There are huge screens throughout, so everybody's going to be able to see very well. Plus, you have the replay where you can, throw it on your TV and see it huge if you want. But they get the upgraded welcome bags, and they also get the gourmet lunches every day. And I know some people who aren't maybe never been to Vegas or haven't heard of hotels. Cosmo has one of the best rated chefs, and the food is incredible.
Really?
So they get a gourmet lunch every single day with VIPs and with the trainers. So that's an extra networking opportunity they're going to get. And then we have a gala party the last night, and that's super fun. So all the VIPs, all the trainers, and the platinum ticket holders get to go to the gala, and that includes a gourmet dinner, dancing. We invite a lot of Vegas entertainment and surprises, and that's super fun. And then the next ticket what?
Oh, I just said that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. I think it's a lot funner than people picture when we always hear that anyways, that they're like, that was even funner than I imagined. And then our VIP ticket holder is like the experience. They get to sit up front. They get free giveaways and gifts from vendors. They get upgraded gift bags. We do a pre-conference cocktail party. We do on Tuesday night. We do a limo tour to different photo op places in Vegas. We're going to take them to a gourmet dinner in a hidden location,
Wow.
and it's a surprise where we take them. But obviously, super cool and very luxurious. And then they get the gala party. They get all the lunches. They get a concierge. They get coffee. I mean, they just get a true VIP
Yeah.
experience. I mean, there's so many things. And then we have some more surprises that I'm not going to say because we like it to be a surprise. But everyone that's come for our VIP, I've never heard anybody be disappointed. And then the people who've seen the VIPs are like, oh, I'm doing that next time.
Yeah. And you said you're already almost sold out of the VIP, right?
Yeah, yeah. We're 71% sold out and we're only what, March. So
Yeah.
I anticipate we'll be sold out soon. But it truly is a true VIP luxurious experience. Because I think sometimes it'll say VIP and you just get like one or two things. But I mean,
Yeah.
we throw it all in there. I mean, there's so many things that they get. Even the nightly events, with and the pre-conference cocktail parties held at it's at a speakeasy, so that's super fun too. And then they also get so all the trainers come to those VIP nightly
Mhm.
events, so they get that one-on-one time where they can kind of talk more with the trainers, in a little bit more intimate space.
Yeah. I think
So
that's so important too, because like I've been to events where this trainer or the speaker or the whoever it is, like not just PMU events, but all kinds of events. Like, for example, Ed Milet, he flies in on his private jet, he speaks, and then he leaves. Like he
yeah,
doesn't hang out with the crowd, And so the fact that like, as part of the speaker agreement that I had to sign is like we hang out with the VIPs and all the conference attendees. Like I'm going to be around every single day, and it's what a 4 or 5 day event.
yeah. It's 5 days now because we actually added the PMU show. So during the conference, in order to have 16, 17 speakers in 4 days, the demos for the PMU techniques are pre-recorded and they're shown on huge screens. And the reason we did that is we used to do them live, but you only could have maybe 2 or 3 speakers a day. And it was just super unorganized. Like models wouldn't show or they wouldn't numb. People would ask so many questions. We go way over time.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless, they were watching it on a big screen because you can't have everybody stand up on the stage. So we figured a much more organized way to do it was the trainers get to pick the live model. They get to pre-record it without the stress. They can edit it so it's perfectly showing what they want to show. They pick the perfect model they want where they live. And it enabled us to have, 16 or 7, I think it's 17 PMU techniques during the 4 days. But we know people like the live model feel, the demos they like to see. So we added a PMU show, which is, we did it last year for the first time. We did it for 3 hours on Monday night and everybody loved it so much that this year we're doing it Sunday starting at 1, and we're going to have double the amount of live demos. So basically, we have 8 to 10 trainers in the room doing live demos at once, and everybody can walk around. We're going to serve champagne, have music, and they can watch and ask questions. And then that's the first session, and then they'll switch to another room and see the next set. So some of our live speakers will be doing the live demos in addition to the pre-recorded one. Plus, we get the opportunity to invite even more trainers that can't speak live because we just don't have time, but they're super talented and we wanted to include them. So now we get to invite even more trainers to do the live demos, and a lot of them are going to present their technique online through the app so they can watch before they arrive, and then they can come to the PMU show Sunday and see them do the live demo. And they'll already have watched the presentation, so they'll know exactly what they're doing. And we have like a highlight of that on my Instagram. Our Instagram is at Vegas PMU Conference. I pinned it to the top of last year. I think it's the middle pin of what the PMU show's like. But everyone had so much fun last year that we were like, okay, let's make it longer this time and invite even more trainers.
Yeah.
So
And for those
that,
watching or listening, like, this conference has been around for 7 years. Like Melissa has how to how to host the perfect PMU event down to a science. Like she's going to write a book on it one day, probably.
I'm sure
Um, so this
it's
is not,
fun.
this is not a test or seeing if it's going to be fun. Like this is a proven fun event that only gets even better each year based on people's feedback and experiences.
Yeah, and that's our goal. Like, we always do surveys, we always ask, and as people, Eric and I will say, always want to be better and do better. That's just how we are. So we're always sitting at home. And because my second daughter also entered into PMU, so they both do it now. So we'll also talk to them and say, hey, like, what do you guys see that we don't, that we should have? Or they'll come up with ideas too that are super cool. Actually, one of the ideas that my other daughter came up with, we talked about it last year, but we didn't have time to implement, was making the presentations interactive. So a lot of people have asked if it's hands-on. And I want to say hands-on training, I think, can be very selective of the way you picture it per person because of talking to people.
Yeah.
Hands-on for some people means working on a live model. Hands-on for other people means working on latex. And I think some people have said, oh, I've heard that, there's conferences we're going to have hands-on. I'm like, hands-on on a model? Probably not. Because in a conference, how would you have 50, 100, 150 models? You just can't.
Right.
So we came up with a way, with my daughter's help, it was a lot of her ideas. A lot of the PMU presentations this year is going to have interactive, I like to say interactive hands-on learning. Everyone's going to get a pen. So all attendees are getting a pen. All attendees are getting latex. All attendees are getting ink. We just announced it and we're super excited. So during the presentations, the trainers are going to make it interactive and have them do work on latex per what they're teaching. And then we're going to do contests. So we're going to have people like take pictures, upload it to the app, and then those trainers are going to give away something, based on whoever did the best of what they told them to do. So that's something new that we added this year too, that we just announced a couple of weeks ago. We kind of did an email blast to let everybody know, but that's super exciting because I think, well, no, we are the only event I know that everyone gets a pen and everyone gets to do interactive learning in the presentations, not just VIPs, not just a certain class of people,
Yeah.
but every attendee is going to get that. So we're already talking. Yeah, so we're excited. We're already talking to the trainers. Like Christina's doing lips, Kim Zen is doing needle configuration, Matt Lulo's doing scalp, and of the ones we've talked to, they all are like, oh yeah, I have some really cool ideas. Like I already know how I can make it interactive. So that's going to be more work for us, of course, a lot more work because I was thinking, how do I organize this? Because I like keep everything very organized, but we figured it out. We're going to have to lay out latex and ink and then kind of, schedule it so we can pick it all up and then maybe have a business topic and then the next PMU and then they get to do the interactive learning. So that's something else that we are doing new this year that we've never done at the request of a lot of people. A lot of people have asked us, and until now we just didn't figure out a way how we could do it. But thank goodness, for all the trainers and their input and our daughter's input, like we figured out a way. So we're excited to do that too.
Yeah, and I know sometimes when people are looking at conferences, they might do like price comparison, like, oh, well, this conference is only this much, but then you look at it, it's only like 2 or 3. It's usually like 2.1 days, and like doesn't include anything except a cup of water. So you guys are like still very reasonably priced, but it's like luxurious. Everything's included, or a lot of stuff's included. The pin, and then I'm excited to announce that linked. Whoops, I pointed at the wrong chest. Linked Permanent Jewelry Training is going to be there, and we're going to be giving away free permanent bracelets to everyone. So these bracelets are worth, $100 a piece, and we're going to be giving every single attendee one. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
Exciting. Yeah, and actually Jake is presenting on a business topic, six-figure marketing, but he is also one that we are going to add online for the permanent makeup because we just didn't have room. We wish we did. So Jake's going to present the linked permanent jewelry online for everybody before they arrive. And then Jake's going to also have a booth so that they can come see you, get to know you, ask you questions. He'll also be at all the VIP events, of course. But my second daughter actually took Jake's training for the permanent jewelry, and she's super excited. That's something that I think a lot of people, even me, I'll confess, when I first heard of it, and like, what is that? I hadn't really heard of it. I had people ask me, wait, permanent jewelry, they like sew jewelry into your skin? And I'm like, no, that's what they envision, right?
Right.
But it is, you guys. So Anna Peroni and her husband do Google, and they're going to be speaking on that at the conference. And he let me know, permanent jewelry is one of the top Google search words right now, more than Botox, more than anything. So it's definitely a very valuable service, I think, for these girls to add, that they can increase their revenue. And that's why we're, going to bring it in and have everybody see it online before they get there. But definitely something I think that everybody should look into.
Yeah, because the thing is, like a lot of my clients in the past, like permanent makeup artists who, let's say they only offer brows. Well, even if they do the best brows in the world, they're limited to what they charge for brows. And so being able to have other services where they can either use that to get people in the door or upsell them and create, basically a higher lifetime value, that does a lot of things. One, it makes them more profit. Two, it increases their ability to, their cost per acquisition can be a little bit more flexible because if you're offering, if you're charging $500 for brows, like there's only so much you can spend on ads before you're like, this is not worth it. Whereas
Yeah.
if you know that you can upsell people, you can make them repeat clients, you can keep them coming back. It allows you to have better marketing, which means you dominate your area, you dominate your competition. So it all goes hand in hand. Like we've had a lot of permanent makeup artists who add permanent jewelry as a service and at least triple their profits, if not more, within a matter of 1 or 2 months.
No, I completely agree. And that's one of the reasons we started hosting the conferences too, because like my one daughter started, she just did eyebrows and she was young, she's like, no, I just want to do eyebrows. And I'm like, yeah, but look at how much you're limiting yourself. If you just add a second service and it costs about the same as eyebrows, you can double your income. If you add three, you can triple your income. If you add, like you're saying, because you have so much more of a market to advertise to, because there's girls who have eyebrows who don't want them. They maybe want, lip blush, and there's girls who have lip blush who want eyebrows. So that was the whole concept too. We're trying to let people know, like, when you come to the conference, I think we have 8 different microblading techniques because, I mean, I don't know how much you've looked into eyebrows, but there's the powder brow look, which is more like a pencil look. There's the stroke look. I mean, there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you separate your clients into 2. There's some girls who want the very makeup powdery look. There's other girls who want very natural strokes that you can't even tell they had anything done. Even in those 8 techniques, you're adding a service. Plus, if they wanted to add lips, we have 3 lip techniques. We have an eyebrow technique. We have skin techniques, like micro channeling is comparative to micro needling, but you don't have to be an esthetician because it's considered dry tattoo in most states. Obviously, we tell everybody make sure you get the proper licensing. So anyways, there's just so much information you can learn. And the benefit of coming to a conference too is it costs less than a masterclass for one technique.
Yep.
One masterclass usually costs $2,500 low, $3,900, $4,900 high. You're learning one technique, which is great. If you want to focus on that and you love that trainer, that's good too. But you're spending for our, bronze ticket less than half of that. But everything that you see, you can implement. And you might come and then say, you know what, I don't really like that technique. I don't think I really want to pursue it. And you haven't spent all that money going to that class when after seeing the presentation, maybe at our conference, like on nanobrows, using a machine instead of a blade. Maybe you watch it and you say, yeah, I want to start doing a machine instead of a blade. Or you say, you know what, no, I think the blade's best for me. I'm going to focus on doing these other techniques. So you learn a lot. I think you save a lot of money. And in that room, we have beginners, we have intermediate, and we have like very experienced. And then you have the master trainers. Everyone has been so nice. All the trainers we invite are not like you were saying, where they just get on a plane and leave and they don't care. They truly, truly want to help these girls, which is why we invite them. And the amount of experience you have in that one room is so much that if you are just starting out or maybe even intermediate or even advanced, you're going to avoid making all these mistakes that you don't have to make, because now you can ask people and they're going to say, oh no, you know what, do this, or this ink worked better, or this numbing, or whatever it may be. You're saving like years of mistakes from networking, like you said, and meeting people and having a support group to go to. Because of the app, you're going to have that support group for months after the conference that you can ask those questions instead of, trial and error and guessing and hoping. You'll actually know before you jump in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like knowledge is great, skills are great, money's great, business is great. But at the end of the day, like when you're 80 years old and you're thinking back, it's not how much money did I make or how many skills did I learn, it's how many relationships did I build? How like,
Yeah.
and to me that's the real power of these events is being able to get around other like-minded entrepreneurs, like feel that energy. Like it's just like a lot of times after conferences, like, and you can agree or disagree with this, but I just feel like I have like a runner's high for like 2 weeks
Yeah.
just because I'm so excited and there was so much great energy. And it's just,
Yeah.
and those relationships you build, that's gonna, and the memories, like
Yeah.
those are going to last a lifetime. And
Yeah.
money comes and goes, but
Yeah.
memories last forever.
It's so true. Like, it gives me the chills right now. I've been thinking about it because every year we have girls like break down in tears because they didn't know they had maybe friends near them. Like, they don't, like, for example, they have no support. They don't really have family. Nobody wanted them to get into permanent makeup. And then they come to the conference and there's like 3 or 4 girls that literally live within a couple miles and work right by them. And now they connected and now they're going to be friends and they're all going to hang out and help each other. And every year we hear all these stories of people saying that, and they're so thankful and appreciative to have that, because it's true what you say. Like, money comes and goes. The important things in life is family and friends.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of really great friendships, even between the trainers and attendees too. They have formed some really great friendships and even collaborations. Um, Business wise,
Yep.
they've joined to offer certain services or classes. Same thing with the vendors with the ink. We are happy to see like some of the vendors made connections in Japan, South Korea, and now because we had attendees from South Korea last year and Japan, which was a compliment to me. I'm like, oh wow, like they came all the way that far. Um, so those are the kinds of things that happen at a conference for sure, and that's what I think. For some people, a conference is so new, the concept, like it was for us. We never even heard it. We're like, what is that? Like, what do they do? But for those people who are listening who've never heard of it, definitely look into it and at least go to one. And even if you don't go to mine, like at least go to one, because it truly, truly is invaluable experience and connections that you'll make if you want to go far in the industry and you want to feel support from people.
Yeah, I feel like people who have never really been to a conference or an event like this, they think like, oh, okay, it's a lot, it's great, it's a lot of learning and stuff, but they imagine probably like business suits and just like sitting there and boring, but it's like that's not it at all. Like these are fun events. Like you're gonna have drinks, you're gonna have, you're gonna dance, you're gonna eat great food, you're gonna make memories. Like this is fun. Like
Yeah,
it's
and we schedule it that way. Like, people say, oh, you're just stuck in a conference room all day and it's just boring. Absolutely not. First of all, you're seeing the trainers that you love. A lot of these girls have admired these trainers forever. Now they get to meet them. And we schedule it so basically it's like a presentation, a break. And then during the break, I forgot to add, during the break, everybody gets like gourmet brownies and cookies and
ooh,
coffee and tea. And I mean, it's so, so good. So, and that's everybody. Every ticket tier gets that. And then we have another presentation, and then we have a break. And then with the lunches, we try to make this year a little bit shorter because we added more people. We're trying to squeeze everybody in.
mhm.
But we make the lunches long so that they can go out and visit vendors or visit you, and a lot of the vendors too, they're so nice. Like Lulu from Microbo, she
Yeah,
lets the
a few weeks ago.
yeah, she's super sweet. Like, she'll give you the pen and you get to hold her pen and you get to use it and practice it on latex and ask her questions. So you also get to have that hands-on where you feel the products and see the products before you buy the product, to make sure you're not going to get it and then kind of be let down because it was different than you pictured. When you buy something on Amazon, sometimes you're like, oh, that's not what I thought it was. Um, and we invite several vendors. There's a lot of good ones. Permablend's going to be there. Lulu's going to be there. Ever After's going to be there. Lots. Lexi Bowler. I mean, Lexi Bowler's the sweetest girl. She has amazing aftercare products and numbing products, and she sells. My daughter that does microblading says the best blade is a patented smallest blade that exists. My daughter says it cuts like butter. It's like the best one.
Nice.
But she's super sweet. I mean, she started off. Everybody started off brand new, and now she's doing amazing. So those are the things that you get at a conference. But we also do giveaways. My husband loves to do all kinds of giveaways during the conference, like surprises that people don't expect. So it was a very big compliment to me. One of the vendors came up to us and said, I've been at a lot of conferences, but I have never seen everybody exit the room smiling like they do when they exit yours. He goes, they all come out like smiling and laughing and like happy, and like, he goes, it's amazing to see. I've never seen that. And we were like, really? Because we don't know. And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, I don't know what you're doing in there, but whatever it is, keep doing it, because everyone's just having a great time. And then the vendors do giveaways too. Like, they get in on it. We're like, let's do a giveaway. So it's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, you're definitely not just sitting there like a business conference that you're obligated to go to, bored out of your mind. It's nothing like that at all.
Yeah, and I know, like, I'm already mentioned the free permanent jewelry, but at the PMU marketer booth, we're gonna be doing some pretty cool stuff. We're gonna be giving away things. I don't want to spoil the
Yeah.
surprise, but then we're also gonna be, just meeting with you guys face to face, and we can talk about your business, see where you're at. I mean, I am like the OG marketer in the industry. I've like I'm the original PMU marketer. Like I know there's been multiple pop ups since then, but I've worked with over 5,000 permanent makeup artists. So if I can't figure out how to grow your business, I don't think anyone can. And I don't say that lightly. It's just I'm passionate about what I do, and I have a lot of experience, and I want to share that with everybody at this point.
Yeah, and that's why we decided to invite you was because, yeah, the amount of reviews, how many, over 2,500, I think you have. I mean, it just shows, reviews are experience and its credibility. But everybody that we invite, we talk to before and we kind of get a feel. And that's the kind of people we want is people who want to help other people like we do. Like we want to help, other girls because through our daughters, we saw a lot of a lot of pieces that were missing, especially I want to say business, like especially the younger girls, because my girls were young, but like you have to set up an LLC. Like, how do you establish business credit? How do you do your books? Like, are you actually keeping track of your finances? Are you just like, oh, I'm making money, that's good? Well,
Mhm.
no, you got to track because then you can see where you can grow and where you need to cut. So all of those kind of presentations we bring too. So we have PMU, we have business experts like how to build a six-figure, how to use social media marketing to build a six-figure business, because that's a full circle of everything that you need to be successful. You can't just learn PMU and then, that's it. It's like, and so many girls do that. And it's like any field, I think realtor, attorney, anybody, you come out and it's like, okay, how do I get clients? Like now what? And that's the hardest part almost is getting clients. And that's something that you're going to be able to help them do and show them how to do.
Yep.
Um, and that's very, very important. That's why we invite you because you do the social media. And then Anna Prony is going to be there talking about Google SEO because that's also very important, marketing and how to set up the website correctly so that they pop up when people search microblading in my area or lip blush in my area.
Hmm.
So but yeah, we try to make it full circle, and you definitely you came with the highest recommendations, best reviews, and I've never heard anything bad about you.
Well,
So
yeah, I just want to help people break their limiting beliefs because, like, especially right now, everybody's like, "Well, the economy." Like, there's been
yeah.
so many people who have messaged me the past week and said, "Jake, in February, I had my best month ever. Like, I made 15,000, or I made 20,000, or and it's just there's no excuse out there. Like, of course the pandemic sucked, but right now, like you guys can definitely be successful in 2023, and what better way to finish off the year than a conference like this? And by the way, this is mid-October. The weather is absolutely beautiful in Vegas. Am I right?
Oh, it's perfect. It's like you could still go swimming, but it's not too hot where you're like dying of the heat. It's usually still in the 80s. I mean, it's super nice weather. And talking about business too, what you just brought up, a lot of people don't realize either, like it's a write-off. Like you can take a trip to Vegas with your friends and make it a week long instead of,
Yeah.
don't just say the 5 days, make it. But a lot of times they don't realize like dollar for dollar what you spend on the conference, you write off as a business expense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your
Why not?
flights,
The
the conference
hotel.
ticket, your meals.
Yep. Yep. Dollar for dollar. You just keep your receipts and you turn that in at the end of the year. And a lot of people don't remember that or think about it. But I'm like, when you actually think about that, like you're investing in yourself to be better, you get to have fun, but you also get to deduct it from your taxes. So
That's
it's
the
like
best part.
win-win. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's the best part for me. That's deductions, especially now this time of year. But yeah, I think people don't realize that or consider it. Or some people are like, no, can I? I'm like, absolutely, you can. I mean, you are completely justified. Like you're buying a ticket for a permanent makeup and business conference. Like you get to write it off dollar for dollar. So it's like, why wouldn't you come? You really have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why
so
I love conferences because it's literally a tax deductible vacation. But I mean, of course, you learn from it too, and it's great professional and all that. But it's a fun. It's you get away from the kids, you get away from your busy everyday life. You get into a new environment. It's a vacation.
hmm And like you said, like that time of year, one of the things we do consider when we pick is the weather because in the summer it's just so. I mean, you step outside. We had people visit from other countries and they've gone and they're like, it's like a oven out here. Like I feel like I'm gonna cook. It's so hot. But yeah, no, October is perfect. And I know in some parts of the world it's already getting cold,
Hmm.
but they can get away from the cold even and come enjoy some nice weather. But and the hotel's super cool too. If anybody, some people do decide to bring their spouse, or if they did want to bring their family, have the husband or wife, watch the kids while they're at the conference. There's
Hmm.
lots of things for them to do during the day. The pool is super cool. They have all these restaurants. They have shops in the hotel. I mean, they can obviously go outside the hotel if they're on vacation, but definitely lots to do. And there's even like a really cool sitting area outside the conference room where we've had people's friends and spouses, kind of hang out, and then they go with them during lunch to see the vendors and hang out with them there. But no, it's definitely a fun time. And I think there's a lot of information they're going to learn, so much. And that's why we do the replays, because it's a lot. I mean, once they leave, they're going to be like you said, you're on this hype, and because of the app, I feel like it goes on for like at least a month. Everybody's still like super excited through the app, and some of the trainers even did like additional Zoom meetups and like virtual meetups with all the attendees too. So it kind of like kept going. The conference ended, but it just kind of kept going through the app.
That's awesome. And even from a practical standpoint, like you said, like the vendors, and a lot of the vendors do prices that you can't get anywhere else, like at conferences, as like promos to get attention for marketing. But then from a buyer perspective, those are going to, like, you can literally save enough money just from purchasing through vendors there for the whole year that it makes up for your ticket price.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with our, online and entry, the bronze one. I mean, I think our bronze ticket right now, because prices do increase as the conference gets closer, but our bronze one I think is like at 1,200. I mean, yeah. I mean, online classes I think for one costs 500.
And I don't even know if I'm supposed to bring this up, but I think you're the only conference that does a guarantee. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, we do. So we do a 100% money back guarantee if they attend and after day one they're not happy, just let us know. But we don't ever have a problem. That's why we do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how confident we are because we don't have issues. Like, I mean, we've never had, but it kind of just, if someone's on the fence and like debating, it's like, okay, well, we're so confident you're going to like it. Just come and we'll give you your money back if you don't like it after day one. But yeah, no, it's always a good time. So
Sweet.
we're,
So yeah, if you're watching this, I'll include a link below to purchase your ticket. And like Melissa said, like prices are going to go up, so get it sooner than later.
yeah.
That's I'm always like a last minute person, and so like that's bit me in the butt because I'm like, oh crap, now the hotel's booked, now the flights are really expensive, and so book in advance.
And
Um,
I'm glad actually that you bring that up, to interrupt you really quick. We do have a group rate. It's about 239 a night for the hotel. And a group rate has a certain amount of spots. It's not like a group rate just goes on and on. So I tell everybody reserve your room now. Hotels are flexible if something does happen, like unforeseen circumstance, because it does happen. And if that happens, I mean, we're flexible too, but you'll get your money back for the hotel, but reserve, because we had people wait last year like you. And then there was some huge event in Vegas. I don't know what it was. And rooms were like 600 a night.
Geez.
Yeah, so it can go up like crazy. So make sure you do that. And then the other thing too that we offer that no one else does is we understand that people are trying to make plans and have other things going on. So we only require a $500 deposit right now. When
Nice.
they register for 500, it locks in the promotional price right now, and they don't have to pay the balance until June 15th. And if they want to pay the balance in one payment, they have all the way till June. If they want to set up the balance in payments, we even do that. Like I can split it up, 5, 6 payments so that they can do it in installments before they get there. So we have those options too. And then you were saying about the link below. Are
Yeah,
you putting
I
your
forgot
code?
to say use code Jake and they'll get a discount, right?
Yeah. So anybody who registers, if you put promo code Jake, you get an additional 100 off whatever the promotional price is on bronze and platinum, and you get 200 off VIP.
Nice.
So you'll put the code, you'll pay the 500. I think VIP is 950 to register because that's a higher ticket tier. And then the balance that you get, that's where they'll see the deduction is off the balance.
Yeah. So if you do use that code Jake, screenshot it after you purchase your ticket, and you said it's only 500 down, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
screenshot that and send it to me. And then I wasn't planning on doing this. I don't even have any notes here. This is all unscripted, but I was thinking about it. I was like, all right, I want to meet people. I like to meet people. I love to take pictures with people. It's just a lot of fun. because like, and everybody always says this. They're like, Jake, I thought you were a different person. Like, I guess they look at my stuff and they think I'm like this big, tough guy. Or I get a lot of comments like, you're taller in person, but a lot of people are like, wow, like after I hung out with you, like you're like the nicest guy ever and stuff. And so it's just fun to meet people, and I like to do that. So if you do, use code Jake, screenshot it, send it to me, and I'm going to give you 3 of my most popular courses, which normally I charge about $1,000 for. I'm going to give you that for free, just because I want to see you at the event.
Oh, super cool. See, you even get that too. So I know there's so many, like we said, perks and giveaways and advantages to meeting all these people. And like I said, you and the trainers and everybody, like if they want to go and ask, like, hey, here's a picture of this, like this happened, what do I do? They're happy to help you. They're all super, super, super sweet. And I think, like you said, a lot of them are like, oh, when I met her, like she was so nice. Some of the trainers, so like she was so nice. Although I will say, I saw a picture. I think you sent me a picture. Show me a picture. You are taller, I think, than I think you are. How tall are you?
I think like 6'1".
Yeah, you are taller than, I don't know why.
I
I
mean,
thought
I
you.
guess people just assume that like I'm some little short marketer and stuff, and I'm not. I'm like an Air Force pilot. I was a
Yeah.
bodybuilder and a bouncer. Like I'm a pretty big guy.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know what it is because you're sitting. I mean, I don't know, but when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, he's taller than I thought, and I don't know why people think that you're shorter than you are, but I thought you were. I don't know why. It's just funny you think that up.
I don't know.
But but yeah. So if you guys decide to go for the VIP, it's priced quite a bit lower than it winds up being. Once we sell out, and that's going to be the best opportunity to be with Jake. You get to go to the cocktail party, you get to go on the limo tour with him, the gourmet dinner, the dancing. Oh, well, I don't know if I guess I can announce it. We haven't formally announced it yet, but we're also adding a PMU championship.
Ooh,
Have you ever heard about that?
no.
Okay, super cool. So we've collaborated with a bunch of trainers, and been working on it. We don't have the landing page set up yet, so we haven't like fully sent it out. But basically, everybody, doesn't matter if you attend or not, gets to participate. And we'll have, I think, 14 categories. So it'll be like micro shading, nano micro shading, microblading, nano microblading, lip techniques, henna brow lamination. And basically, they will perform their technique, submit the photos, and then we'll have judges from all over the world, like masters from all over the world are going to be judges. And they win a trophy and a championship so they can actually get credibility. And for their clients, when they say, what is this?
Mhm.
I won the biggest PMU world championship for lip blush or, eyeliner, whatever they decide to enroll in. The cool thing is it's all being done online, so everybody gets to participate, whether they attend or not. We will announce the winners during the gala. So if they're there, they get to have like a formal announcement. If they aren't there, then we just ship them, the trophy and winning items, certificates, and everything. But it's super, super cool. It's very common in Europe and other countries. But it's something we kind of wanted to implement. And again, we were trying to figure out the best way to do it
Mhm.
behind the scenes. So that's going to be announced soon, but super, super cool for them to participate. I think the enrollment's like 100 to 200, nothing crazy. And they get to be seen by like the top judges and be recognized as the winner.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I love working with champions. So if you win the championship, I might throw another prize in there myself.
Exactly. There you go. Maybe we'll do that too. We'll get with all the trainers and say, hey, and maybe if they win and they decide they want to come live, they get additional. I don't know. We're kind of just
Yeah.
still thinking about all the ways we can make it super fun, which is why we haven't formally sent out the announcement, but it's going to be coming out like in the next couple of weeks. So that's super cool too. That's another thing that we've added.
And that's one thing that surprised me about you when I met you is like I assumed that since you'd been doing this 7 years and it was like already the best conference and all that stuff that you would already like, basically like you would just be like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing, and just like you would kind of be like, what am I trying to say, like
No,
complacent, yeah,
yeah,
complacent. But you're not. You're always like, how can we make it better? How can we
yeah.
improve? How can it always like be a better experience? And so I do respect that about you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, we do. I'm telling you, we like sit around, especially since it's like our whole family. The only one who's not in the industry yet is my 13-year-old, but poor thing, she always hears all of us. we're always talking and like, hey, we could do this, or hey, you could do that, or even on the business topic. So another thing that we did last year, and my husband's going to kind of update it, was um, my husband's an attorney. I'm a real estate broker back before we started doing all this. Just saying that because of the experience. And so our daughter, our oldest daughter, bought a salon, well, built a salon during COVID. So everybody was freaking out and like doing nothing. We were like, oh no, do everything now. Interest rates are low. Nobody's moving. The banks are like begging for business. Like, this is the time. And so basically, he did a presentation last year that was why rent when you can own your own salon.
Hmm.
Because what she's essentially done is built the salon. She works out of one of the suites, but she's got 14 suites that she rents to her friends and other permanent makeup artists. The environment's super cool. She designed it super cool, has fun, but now she gets to have that additional revenue of rent.
Hmm.
And, down the line, you think about retiring or you don't want to do permanent makeup. Well, then you become a landlord and you rent suites to permanent makeup artists. And I think you mentioned you were in real estate too before we got on. Did
Yeah,
you?
I do a lot of short-term rentals and stuff, but I'm very like I'd love to hear his presentation because I'm very interested in owning like a salon or med spa or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least in Vegas, it depends, but the rental value of what these girls pay per suite and the rental and you can make is amazing. And SBA, government funding, they fund you to build it if you buy something new. The reason we recommend new is because we have to have permits and you have to have sinks in every room. So to get a building that's already done and then add the permits, it just became more costly. Doesn't mean it can't be somewhere else. Depending where you live, I know some of these cities don't really have much regulations. So that's something you have to investigate. But I just bring that up because that's another topic that we were like, hey, why, our daughter was able to do this. This was amazing. And she loves it. And she's so happy. And
Hmm.
he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do a presentation on that. And I'm going to show he just did it online. We had it before. But he's like, I'm going to show these girls how to do that too. And I'm like, yeah, we're always trying to help people. And how can they be better? How can they do better? And then it was super cool because one of our attendees is like 24 or 25, super young, and she's like, I've implemented everything I've learned at these conferences, all the business topics, all the PMU topics. She's opening up her second salon. She's creating her own technique that maybe one day, she'll be a speaker at the conference. Um, and those are the stories that we like to hear. But we truly, truly do. Our motive is to help people because, not to say it like bragging, but this wasn't what we did. We already, we're older. We already worked. We kind of already did our own thing. This kind
Yeah,
of fell in our lap, and we do it because we like it
yeah,
and because we want to help people. But it's not like, I don't want to sound braggy, but it's not like my only
right.
career. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is something you do because you enjoy it and you're passionate about, it, not because
Right.
you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to. I don't want to sound like egotistical or show off. I just, yeah, no, we're older. Our kids are older. Like, we already had established our own businesses. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of just fell into it, and we were like, how can we help people? Like, this helped our daughter. Like, let's help other girls. Let's help other people. And that's
Hmm.
truly, truly our incentive, and that's why we're always kind of coming up with different ways. But oh, my husband, I could tell you so many things that he wants to do, and I'm just like, no, I don't have time. There's no way. And he kind of pushes me, which is good. And he has great ideas, but I'm like, okay, slow down, slow
Yeah.
down. Like, how are we? He has the ideas and wants to do stuff, but I'm like, okay, how's this going to be organized? I immediately am like, how would this go organized so it doesn't go crazy, so that everybody's having fun. So, and you only have so much time.
Yep.
And like I said,
Right.
we want to include everybody, and that's why we added the online. So we're adding like 10 plus online speakers. The cool thing with our online too it isn't just like an online we send you and you watch it and you're just kind of cold and it's like, okay, saw that, like watching on YouTube or something.
Hmm.
Our online presentations are interactive. The speakers that do those are on the app and they're going to be chatting and answering your questions. So it's not like you watch it and then like, oh, okay, but you're going to be talking to the speaker. And a lot of them, like I said, are going to be doing the live demo in the PMU show. So we have Julie Kim coming. She hasn't been announced. She's super, super well known, very talented, very sweet girl. Lexi Bowler's going to do a live demo. She's also doing online presentation. Um, Tanny Deep is another one. You might know her from America the Beautiful. She was there, Tanny Deep.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, so she's super sweet. She's going to be doing online and be there. So it's just, yeah, it's kind of every year getting bigger, bigger, bigger,
Yeah.
and more things. Um, I always tease my husband. I'm like, by the end of this, you're going to be like taking VIPs on helicopters or something. Cause
Let's do it.
you should see the stuff he wants to do for VIPs. And I'm like, okay, like, wait, we have to think about this. But
Well, you already
yeah,
got the pilot here, so we'll just take everybody.
yeah, exactly. Helicopters kind of scare me, but he's like, that would be cool. We'll have them all go on helicopter tours like around Vegas. So I'm like, okay, let's just we'll think about it. But yeah, we do have fun, and that's the feedback I get. And so as long as we're having fun, everybody's having fun. That's the point.
Sweet. Well, I'm so excited and honored to be there. And, if you're watching or listening to this, make sure you use discount code Jake, and you're going to get a free pin with that, free permanent jewelry, a discount depending on what level, and 3 of my most popular courses all for free. So you can't afford not to buy a ticket. It's really,
I think it's actually cheaper to go than pay for all those things separate.
exactly.
If you add it up, it's like cheaper to pay for the bronze ticket than paying for all that stuff. So
Yep.
that's super generous and kind of you too. And I think people will be excited about it. And you guys look into the permanent jewelry. Like, I wish we had a space for him to speak about it live. But we get to do it online, so it's just as good. But it's especially the younger generations that are coming up. I feel like I'm a lot older, but it is one of the biggest things right now. Like, I mean, I think you could just put like one of those little banner signs outside your salon, and you probably have people coming in. I mean, that's how, or just literally add it to your webpage. Guaranteed, they're going to get people reaching out for it. That's all you'd have to do. So.
Awesome. Well, hope to see everybody there. And, if you want more marketing tips, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And anyways, thank you so much, Melissa. It was an absolute honor to have you on here. And I look forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be here before we know it. So Super exciting.
All right, guys. See you in Vegas.
Bye.
I'm feeling myself. If you really must know, can't tell me I ain't killing it. You really should try some of this. I'm confident, yeah. I'm feeling myself. If you really must know, can't tell me I ain't killing it. You really should try some of this.